Okay, here we are on the other side, and we have an important chapter here, as they're all important. Here we are in chapter 13 in the book of Revelation. 13 represents Babylon. At 13 it represents the uh, tribe of Dan, the 13th tribe. It represents the Merovingian bloodlines, the number 13, unlucky 13 it's called. But it's occult numerology, that's what it is. And these translators that translated the King James Bible instructed us through the numbers that they gave to all these verses and chapters. They just did. It's obvious. So 13 in the book of Revelations. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. All right, so here's the Antichrist figure, the 10 unseen merchant kings. He will destroy a couple of them, according to the book of Daniel on the way up. He will be called the 8th king. But yet, there's also the 7 hills that surround his empire. So there's City of 7 Hills, as they're called. And so that's all going to be explained here. One of the big important things is the 10 unseen merchant kings here, because one of them is the Antichrist. He knocks a couple of them out on the way up, as we'll be studying the book of Daniel. Listen to this. All right, now remember what I said. We must have descriptions of these creatures. In 2 it says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. So there we are. We have one of these bloodlines, one of their heads, and he is getting satanic force. 3, and I saw one of his heads, as it were, wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. So there it is. Notice now he's not in the closet, he's not in stealth, he's not in secret making a peace agreement like the ram and the he-goat. He's out in front here, because the whole world looks that he had the deadly wound healed. 4, and they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? Okay? So, these people are not fooled. They're not tricked into some cultic activity. They are worshiping the power of Satan. Remember what I said earlier, the throne of God's been shown in heavens there. And as we move on here, these people have no question about who they're worshiping. Will people be that stupid? Will people be that stupid to worship their oppressor? That's my question. So, I'll read it again here. And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? So here is their pride of their world system. The throne of God's been shown in heaven, and they refuse to bow that knee, but they will. Every living creature will bow the knee. You can either bow it now or bow it in hell. But listen to this about this Antichrist. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months. So there it is again. Times, and half a time. There he is, the 1,200, and this time 90 days that he will be there in Jerusalem. 5, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. So that what we say, that Jerusalem is now visible in heaven, so there's no doubt about who they're worshiping and who they are against, because they're prepped and primed for the battle of Armageddon. 7, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints. Oh, mean we're clear up here into the final vials in the Great Tribulation, and he's making war with the saints? What's up with that? I thought we were all going to be raptured. Well, no, you're not. It ain't here yet. It's called the gathering. Wasn't called the rapture. Never use that term, folks. That deceives people when you use the term rapture. That always messes everybody up. That was Darby. Don't ever do that. Darby the pagan. In 7, it says, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. That's world government, folks. Not only world government, but world dictatorship. And that's exactly what the Club of Rome said that they would do. 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. So, you were written in his book before the world was created. He was slain already before the world was created. It's no accident. This is how God's going to fulfill everything. It's going to be the fulfillment of all things. And notice here, he's ruling over the whole world. Now, what would make anyone think he isn't? Look at here. How could you get everybody to wear a mask all around the world and shut down their economy and start murdering everybody with the mark of the beast? How could you do that? That's called world government, folks. And it's going to get worse, according to the book of Revelation. 9, if any man have an ear, let him hear. Okay, now here for all the people that are serving the elite of the world, that love this vision of having this death upon earth, and the elite overthrowing God Almighty. That's the top level of it. All you people that are serving it, you're going along to get along, whatever your problem is. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, and he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Okay? So the snake bites himself in the tail. They destroy their own work, and they hate the world, they hate the human beings, they hate all the world creation that God created. Okay, now listen, here comes his religious leader. This is, he's called the little horn, or he's called also the false prophet. Listen to this. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast, which before him, and causeth the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. And there is your abomination that maketh desolate. And you must see that first before you can even think about looking up for Christ. Now that's the truth. That's the timing of this Bible. This is going to be set right there in Jerusalem. That's where this is going to happen. What did we say? These Philistines, these uncircumcised people, spiritually, are going to inhabit Jerusalem. 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So there's that part of it. The mark of the beast. What's it say? You can't buy, sell, trade. They threaten to throw you into FEMA camps, don't they? Yes, they do. Notice the image. And notice it's talking. Now that's what these people, they shrink heads even and think those shrunken heads are talking to them. But it's actually devils, folks. It's devils. If your image is talking to you, you're being deceived by a devil. And this is no different here in 15. This is what these people believe it does. Their idolatry. 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Notice it's in. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Notice here in 18, that's 666. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Now, when it comes to the nanorobots that are in the jab, they lodge in your frontal lobe. So, Carl Sanders, one of the inventors of the implant ID chip, talked about this day. I first heard about it 30 years ago. I've watched it all unfold, and here it is. And it's not what we had envisioned, and we were pretty sure that we were right about the chip. Never did we imagine it would be involved in this death cult, brainwashing, this jab, this phony baloney stuff that is involved, the lies, the deception. Folks, the mark of the beast is worse than I ever imagined. And I've been studying it for 30 years. Back when Carl Sanders was speaking about it, one of the inventors, we'd long been talking about it, about this cult of Satanists that want to ID everybody and to cause them not to be able to buy, sell, trade, and now you see to worship this image to the devil's minion there and worship the dragon, and if you don't do that, you'll suffer death. Well, I got news for the Satanists. You're going to get the second death. You love death, you worship death. Your cup's going to get filled up. Now, how do you like that? So that being said, we're going to stop there as these chapters are getting involved. So we'll go ahead and cut it off here, and we'll go on with chapter 14, and it will explain more of what I'm talking about here in the book of Revelations. Thank you. This is the 1611 King James Bible Prophecy Church. I'm Tom Thompson. See you on the other side.